BBC News, hello, I'm Gareth Barlow. Russia says it has temporarily suspended on-site inspections of its strategic nuclear weapons under a US-Russian arms reduction treaty known as New START. It's the last remaining arms reduction agreement between the former Cold War rivals. Warren Bull reports.
It's a delivery in missiles, rockets and ammunition, and crucially that includes more of the precision missiles that have helped Ukrainian forces attack Russian troops far behind the front lines. And those supplies are going to be coming directly from Defense Department stockpiles so they can be shipped more quickly. The State Department has released a statement saying that their military assistance continues to be calculated to make a difference on the battlefield and strengthen Ukraine's eventual position at the bargaining table. They're still trying to calibrate this to avoid looking like the US is at war with Russia, although that line has clearly shifted during the conflict.
Apologies, that was Barbara Plett-Usher reporting. Russia says it's temporarily suspended on-site inspections of its strategic nuclear weapons under a US-Russian arms reduction treaty known as New START. It's the last remaining arms reduction agreement between the former Cold War rivals. Warren Bull has this report.
Explaining its decision, the Russian Foreign Ministry accused Washington of seeking advantages for itself, including depriving Russia of the right to carry out inspections on American territory. It said US sanctions over Moscow's invasion of Ukraine had changed conditions between the two countries, for example by suspending normal air links. The New START Pact came into force in 2011 and caps at just over 1,500 the number of nuclear warheads that can be deployed by Moscow and Washington.
The authorities in Cuba say 3 crude oil tanks have now been destroyed by a fire at the northern port city of Matanzas. The blaze began on Friday night when lightning hit one of the depots before spreading. Experts from Venezuela and Mexico have been sent to Cuba but have so far failed to control the fire. With more details, Warren Will Grant reports.
The explosion of a second fuel tank and the collapse of a third has exacerbated what had already become Cuba's biggest energy disaster in recent memory. The blaze, which has been raging for several days, is sending huge plumes of acrid smoke into the air around the city of Matanzas, prompting the health ministry to issue a warning over air quality in the affected area. The authorities are struggling to bring the fire under control. Meanwhile, the agonising ordeal of waiting for news goes on for the families of 14 missing people, many of them firefighters.
The Mexican authorities say an underwater drone will be deployed as part of efforts to reach 10 workers trapped for 5 days in a flooded coal mine in northern Mexico. The miners have been trapped since Wednesday when a wall collapsed and water from another chamber flooded 3 shafts. World news from the BBC. President Joe Biden has been visiting families affected by devastating flooding in Kentucky. At least 37 people are confirmed dead and several others are missing. Thousands of people were displaced after the flooding swept away their homes. Many remain stranded without access to clean water, electricity and critical supplies, as some communities remain impossible to access because of heavily damaged infrastructure. High temperatures, thunderstorms and humidity have been posing challenges to response efforts. The authorities in the Bahamas say they have apprehended more migrants so far this year than in the previous 3 years combined. The Royal Bahamas Defence Force says that most of the arrivals come from Haiti or from Cuba. They risk their lives on the dangerous sea journey, paying thousands of dollars to human traffickers who promise to drop them on the US coast. And the singer and actress Olivia Newton-John has died at the age of 73. Born in Britain, she grew up in Australia and went on to be a star in Hollywood, best known for her part in the 1978 film musical Grease. Newton-John, who was then 29, played the teenager Sandy opposite John Travolta. The BBC's Peter Bowes in Los Angeles say tributes from Hollywood have been pouring in.
We've heard from John Travolta. He posted this. He said, "My dearest Olivia, you made all of our lives so much better. Your impact was incredible." We've heard from the actress Viola Davis. She said, "Oh man, you were my childhood." How many of us can say that about Olivia Newton-John? Your talent, poise, beauty. Thank you for creating eternal memories. She did go on to other performances after Grease and her heyday in the 70s. She had a residency in Las Vegas. She performed on the TV show Glee. She will also be remembered for her very brave fight against cancer.
And that's the latest BBC News.